Hey y'all, so today we are going to talk about the latest immigration news. There's so many things that has happened in the past month, the past week. Let's talk about it. We are going to talk about the DV 2025, DV 2024 people. Stick around. TPS, work authorization, DACA, interviews, all of that. We're going to be getting into the latest immigration news. So if you are interested in US immigration, stick around and feel free to subscribe, like this video. Let's jump right in. So, disclaimer, my child is here. You're going to hear her. You may even see her. It's just what we're doing today. Okay. Be sure to say hi in the comments to the baby, okay? If you're watching, say hi to the baby. So, first thing first, DV 2025 registration is open, okay? I did a whole video on how to register, what you need in order to register. So, if you are interested in applying for DV 2025 lottery, please watch that video, register. The registration deadline, so basically it opened October 4th. It's open till November 7th, okay? Like I told y'all, it's basically like a 1-month period that you have to register. If you miss the window, you have to wait till next year, okay? So don't miss the window. Let's see. Do not miss the window to register. So remember, October 4th, we're on October 6th. So it's open. It is open. So go ahead and register. You have until, sorry, y'all. My video is about to be flagged in so many ways. Hold on a second. So you have until November 7th to register, okay? Let me set her up. All right. If you have kids, you understand. 3 things to keep in mind as you are applying. 1, do not enter more than once. This is not like a regular lottery where the more times you enter, the more chances you have of winning. That's not this. This is not it. So you only enter once. If you enter more than once, both times will be kicked out. You have 0 chances of winning if you enter more than once. Be honest in your application. If you have children, put them there. If you are married, put them there. If you're not married and you do not have children, do not put them, right? So be honest in your application. Second thing, the last thing is meet the photo requirements, okay? The State Department is very specific on what they want as far as the photos are concerned. Please meet the photo requirements. They are very important. And if you put the wrong picture, your stuff is going to be kicked out. So it's really important that you only enter once, you're honest in your application, and you meet the photo requirement. They even have a website where you can go and upload your picture and make sure it meets the requirement before you upload it to the registration. So take advantage of that. And as always, be very careful of fraud, people trying to trick you into giving them money. There is no fee for entering the lottery. Okay, there is no fee. You have to go on this website, dvprogram.state.gov, in order to enter. If you're going to any website other than dvprogram.state.gov, you are in the wrong place and you are not actually entering the lottery. All right. So, oh, and bonus. If you want to give your family a bigger chance of winning, right? If you and your wife, you and your husband, you and your partner meet the requirement, you enter one and your spouse enters as well, right? So you enter the lottery, include your spouse, include your children, right? Your spouse enters the lottery, includes you, includes your children, And then now your household has 2 chances of potentially winning the lottery. So if you win, your spouse and your children are under you. If your spouse wins, you and your children are under your spouse. So that gives your family 2 chances of being able to win the lottery. All right. So if you are joining me, feel free to ask me questions as we go along. The next news that I want to cover is, of course, interview waivers. Everyone wants to know, is interviews still being waived for green card applications in the US? The answer to that is yes. Yes, 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 yes. They are still being waived. I am loving it. My clients are able to get their green cards without, majority of them are being able to get their green cards without having to go to an interview, and it is great. So remember, if you want to skip the interview stage, make sure that you are stacking your application with evidence of your relationship, and right, and that you are including everything that's required to show that you qualify for a green card, right? Because the green card process, especially through marriage, is 2-part. One, you have to show that your marriage is real. So that's why you stack it with evidence of your relationship. And 2, you have to show that you qualify for a green card. So you have to make sure that you include those documents. All right. So interviews are still being waived. If you're outside of the US, unfortunately, you still have to go to an interview. But if you're applying for a green card in the US, your interview may be waived if you include everything that the officer could possibly want. Okay. Let's see. The next news, unfortunately, it's not a great one. So if you have DACA, make sure you're renewing your DACA and you're not doing anything that will cause your DACA to be taken away. That's all I can say, right? If you have DACA, make sure you're renewing on time and that you're not doing anything that could take your DACA away. So what can take your DACA away? Certain criminal activity, okay? If you're arrested, charged, convicted of a crime, your DACA can go away. So be very careful of that. All right, be very, very careful. So the news out of Texas, of course, Texas, a judge out of Texas basically said, no more DACA, right? DACA is unlawful. The president has no grounds to be able to have DACA as a program. So now, basically, no new DACA applications can be approved. So if you already have DACA, you can still renew. If you don't already have DACA, you can file the application. USCIS is just going to hold on to it until either the Supreme Court or a different judge says, yes, DACA new applications can be approved. And at this point, that hasn't happened. The case is going up to the Supreme Court, so we'll see what happens there. Hopefully, they do not destroy it. Hopefully, DACA lives another day. But as of today, no new applications can be approved. But if you are filing a renewal, meaning you already have DACA, you just want to renew, you're good to go. You can still renew. And then from bad news to good news, okay? I try to stack those. So if you are under certain programs, right, your work authorization, USCIS has expanded the validity, the time frame for certain work authorizations. So sometimes, I think like a year ago, if you got a new work permit, it is only valid for a year, only a year. However, as of this year, they started approving it for 2 years, okay? And then now they're saying if you are in these categories, you are actually able to get it for up to 5 years. So instead of having to renew every, 2 years, you may not even have to renew your work permit depending on the category that you are in. So let's break it down. If you are applying for asylum or you already have asylum, you qualify for the up to 5 years. So if you already have a card, when you go to renew, right? Let's say you have a 2-year work permit. When you go to renew, those can be renewed for up to 5 years now instead of just 2 years. If you have a green card application pending, remember I tell everyone, if you have a green card application pending with USCIS, to also apply for a work permit. So if your reason for applying for a work permit is because you have a green card application pending, you also qualify for the 5 years. Okay. Hopefully you're not waiting, more than 2-3 years for your green card to be approved, but at least you don't have to worry about having to renew it every year, every other year. All right. If you have cancellation of removal, withholding of removal, suspension of deportation, these categories will also get the 5 years because they always need to renew, right? It's not automatic that they are able to just work in the US, even though they have these statuses. So they're able to renew and get the 5 years. I'm just saying, it's nice. It is nice when you don't have to keep reapplying for a work permit. Remember, if you are under asylum, your first work permit is free, right? If you're applying for asylum, your first work permit is free. After that, you are paying the fee. So instead of paying the fee every year, now it's every 5 years. That's great. Okay, that is great. That saves you time, that saves you money, that saves resources for USCIS because now they don't have to get, hundreds of thousands of applications every year because now it's every 5 years. Okay, so not only is it good for the immigrants that are getting work permit, but it's also good for USCIS because now they can focus on more important things. They can just go ahead, give you the work permit for 5 years, and then they don't have to look at your application for a work permit for another 5 years. So it is more streamlined and more efficient that way. Okay, more good news. TPS for Venezuela and Afghanistan has been not only extended, because sometimes they can extend it and that's it. That just means, so if they only extend it, it means that if you already have the TPS or if you qualified before, you're good, right? They're just extending the time. But they also redesignated it. What does that mean? It means now there's a new cutoff date. There's a new cutoff date for applying for the TPS. So if you are from Venezuela and you were in the US, continuously living in the US as of July 31st, 2023, you can now apply for TPS. Okay? Before it was 2022. It's been moved up to July 31st, 2023. So that includes everyone that came in. Let's say you came in January, from January to July. You cannot apply for TPS. That was not available to those people beforehand, right? So if you're from Venezuela, you were in the US as of July 31st, you qualify for TPS, apply for TPS. Okay, you get a work permit, and you're good until May 20th of 2025. It's been extended on to May 20th, 2025. So please, if you qualify, go ahead and apply. Also, like I said, Afghanistan was also redesignated. Their cutoff date is September 20th, 2023. So anyone from Afghanistan that was continuously living in the US as of September 20th, 2023 can now apply for TPS. There was the cutoff of 2022 Now the cutoff is September 20th, 2023. So go ahead and apply. All right. Let me just make sure I have all my everything I want to tell you today. And if you have questions about any of this, if you're not sure how to apply for your DV 2025, please go ahead, watch my video from a couple weeks ago where I tell you exactly how to log in, where to go, all of that. All right. If you think you qualify for TPS, but you're not sure, right? You want some eyes on your documents to see if you actually qualify and the steps to actually apply for TPS, feel free to reach out and schedule a strategy session with me. The link is in the description to this video. And of course, you can always call my office at 508-443-1788 to schedule a consultation where we can fully delve into your particular situation and make sure that you actually qualify and then help you get TPS. Okay. Remember, if you have DACA, keep it. Okay. The judge in Texas basically stopped any new DACA applications from being approved. So if you already have DACA, you can still renew. It's just new people that have never had DACA before cannot now apply. Okay. USCIS says they can apply, they will take in the application, but they're not actually going to make a decision because they can't. So until that changes, we'll see what the Supreme Court says. I will follow that and let you know of any updates. Hopefully, the Supreme Court does not agree with the judge in Texas and would leave DACA alone. All right. Interviews are still being waived. Oh, my DV 2024 people, make sure you're looking at the visa bulletin. Okay. Every single month, it's being updated with who can actually apply. So make sure you are paying attention to the visa bulletin. It's all the way at the bottom for the DV program. Look at it, see if your number has come up. And if it has, and you're legally in a legal status in the US, you can apply for a green card. If you are outside of the US, you can start the visa process. So the DS-260 and all of those things. All right. So please, the visa bulletin comes out every single month. If you all are interested in me doing just a video on the visa bulletin and doing like a monthly check-in with the visa bulletin to see where things are and who can now apply for green cards and visas, feel free, let me know in the comments and I will go ahead and do those videos for y'all. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. And as always, I am Lillian Chukwu. I'm a U.S. immigration lawyer, and I help my clients get green card and citizenships for themselves and their families using the U.S. immigration law system. Bye.